Okay, so what will happen here? As the output is already there, so we might have been guessed it. In this video we are going to discuss addition question, string question and short circuit, and we are actually extending our previous things into more details in this video, and we will be like playing around with the more examples. So but now, before starting with this thing, let me put an example which I missed in the previous video to you. So okay, let's start the video without any delay. So first of all, what you think the output of, by the way, after watching this series you will be solving interview questions like this, and I think instead of solving you will be doing some counter question to the interviewers as well. So just comment, share and subscribe. This is the only thing you can give to a YouTuber. Okay, so let's start it. If what you think the output of this console will be null equal to undefined. Okay, as I have already discussed in previous videos, if you didn't watch, just watch it now, otherwise you will not be able to understand this thing, what is null means and what is undefined mean. Okay, so shortly let me tell you. Null means there is nothing, and undefined means like there is something, like memory space is occupied but there is not any value. But as we are doing here the loose comparison, loose check, okay, what will happen? Comparison or JS will try to coerce this undefined, and into what thing this JS coercion will try to coerce this undefined. Actually null means nothing, so JS thinks, okay, let's coerce this undefined into null, cause we have to have same data types. JS have to have same data types whenever there is a loose equality check, equality comparison. So what JS do is, there is null on left side and JS just coerce this undefined into null again and just give you output. Of course now you have just guessed, you will be guessed, of course the output, it will be true because the data types are now same. Now let's make it a little trickier. What if we put a double equal here? Now it's totally different scenario. This is another data type and this is another primitive data type, primitive value. This is another primitive value left hand side, and right hand side there is another primitive value. Now these are never been equal. Undefined means this is a value, valid value. You can make a variable and you can assign it undefined. Okay, so this is a value and memory is occupied. Now it will never ever be equal, so because that's why there is a false. Now quickly let me tell you some examples related to Boolean comparisons. Okay, so now what you think the output of this 241 line will be? Now as we discussed earlier, so I just thought to have some more examples to you so you can practice really well. So at the machine level, what this true will be eventually? Of course this true eventually will be represent as 1 plus 1 plus 1 at machine level, of course, and 1 plus 1 plus 1 equal to 3, so this 3 equal to 3, of course. So data type will, now we don't have to like you will be thinking like there is a Boolean data type and there is a integer data type, how this will be equal and it will eventually will become true. No, actually you are right, but at the machine level, just think at the level of interpreter. What interpreter will do, it will first convert these Boolean true values into 1 and then will sum it up as a one machine code and then will make a comparison. So this is just straightforward. Okay, so what will happen here? Of course the same, it will convert into true, then minus, then 1 minus 1, it will be 0. And here you can see this interesting thing, like it's a little greenish. What's it mean is it's of integer type. Okay, like there is a question happening here. You can say like these true Boolean types are converted into same data type. Of course it's already are in same, but whenever it will be subtracting, it will be coerced to 1 of integer type, so then it will be subtracted. Now what will happen here? True equal to 1, of course it is equal to 1. At the behind the scene, 1 equal to 1. Now there is a tricky part here. What you think, it will be equal or not? It is false. It is false. Now if you tell me why this comparison is being output as a false, like if we think as a machine level, this is 1 and this is also 1, so what's the issue? Actually there is an issue. I deliberately missed this point at this level. Actually if you see, there is addition sign before equality, like comparison sign. So addition has a precedence according to Boardmas, if you think and rewind. So what will happen, this whenever, actually you can put this bracket here. This is the good representation of this statement. So what will happen, first of all, this addition will happen, and as this is plus sign, so these two type will be coerced eventually to integer type. Okay, this will be converted to integer type, and it will be represented as a 1 and 1. Now it will make an addition and will eventually give to you the output of 2, and now this 2 will be added with this true, and true will be coerced to which, to what, 1, and this now 1 will be added to 2, and it will eventually give you 3, and then 3 will be compared with 3, and it will become eventually true. So this is happening behind the scene. Now here at this line, coercion is not taking place because this is a strict quality check and there is no plus operator here. So that's why data types are different and it will eventually becomes false. Okay, now quickly move towards our main thing, addition coercion. Like we have probably cleared some of the things of today's topic here in this example here as well. So now let's move towards more examples. Okay, so let me show you something here with the string. Before taking some of the example, let's discuss some of the theoretical concepts as well. Okay, so what will happen here? As the output is already there, so we might have been guessed it. Okay, let me explain it. So new string a equal to a. There is a loose check. Actually the trick thing is here, it is an object. Now it is not a string. You are initializing a string, making a string with the help of this instance of a class. Actually this is the class. You are initiating an instance via using the power of this string. Okay, so this is giving you an object of string which is a, and when you compare with loose check with this a, okay, what happens? Actually this don't compare the data types, as we already discussed. Double equal dot compare data type, it just check only the values, so it will eventually become true. Okay, that's great, and this will become eventually true because only comparison of value is being happened. Now here these two are objects. These two are not string literals. Actually we call them this as a string literal and this as a string object. Okay, so these two are string objects, and this will eventually, if I console this thing, okay, console dot log. Oh, why? Okay, there is an error. Okay, so if I console it out, what will happen? You can see it's false. Why it's false? Because these are two different objects. We check the type of this. I think, I don't know if I will get the type of this. Yeah, we got the type. It is of object type, and this is again of object type. But why even having the same types, these are not equal, cause these two objects have different references at the memory locations. That's why these are not the same thing.
Emotional, damn it!
So that's why equality is breaking here and it's returning false. And now but by the way, if you want to make a strict equality check, you can do these kind of things. Like if you want to make string comparison to be forced, if string comparison you want to be forced, then what you can do, let's suppose there is a string, let a new string, let me just copy it out instead of writing quickly. Okay, so there is a string a. If you make comparison like that, what will happen? And have a variable b here. So this is a strict string comparison. Like first of all, let's suppose if this a is of some digit type, let's just remove, otherwise you will be confused. Let's just make it theoretical. If this a is containing some value of, let's suppose, let me take 8, and then you take b as 10, 120, or you can say 10. So now what you are doing, like this is already string, let's take it as a digit. Okay, so if you take two variables as a digit and then you make comparison, here what you are doing, first you are appending this string with a, and what it actually does is, if I show to use cl a string plus a, so I am making addition of string and number. What will happen, this number will be coerced to string, so this is showing string. Actually this is not digit, this is string type. If you show, it's of white color. So if I do this here, so this is a string forced comparison, and if I want to do numeric comparison, what I need to do, so actually I need to put this plus here. What this plus will do, this plus will coerce, or you can say parse, actually this plus will parse a data type into integer. Due to this plus, this will parse into integer, and this plus will also parse b into integer, then we'll make a comparison. And this is a Boolean comparison. If you want, there is like some other values, a contains some gibberish, b contains some other value, but if you want some Boolean comparison, you can make this exclamation here, you can have this exclamation here. Okay, if you have some confusion regarding this step, like this was not too important, that's why I just quickly covered. And but if you have confusion, let's comment down, and I will have a separate video. Okay, so let's quickly have our next example here. Now this is the actual thing I was waiting for. Okay, so what you think the output of this thing will be? Actually, of course, it's obvious, we have discussed earlier. This would be 9 would be coerced into string, and it will be, if you are thinking it would be 10, no, it will be 91. And what will be the output of this? As we already discussed, any other operator other than plus will do a conversion or coercion of string to number. Now this one will become an integer, and this will be 9 minus 1. So this will be 8. As you can see, this is a little greenish, so it's a integer type. Now if we do this, what will happen now? Now actually these two strings first will be appended, like we are doing string addition, so these two strings will be appended with each other as happened here. Like coercion will take place, and one will also be converted into string. So let me break it down one by one. So first these 2 and 2 will be appended, and it will become 22. It will not be added because it's plus addition, like addition operator. And then eventually, as it is a string, So what it will eventually give you, and then 1 will also be coerced into string, and what kind of output we will get, string 122. So this will be the output. Here you can see. Now what will happen here? So what you think the output of this will be? Carefully see, if you carefully watch, there is a plus sign here, and what will happen? First of all, this will be coerced or parsed, exactly parsed into a digit 1 2, and then in string 2 it will look like this after first step, how interpreter is watching it. And then what will happen, as there is a, actually it look into from left to right. So first of all this addition will happen, and it will become eventually 3 plus 2, and now it will be concatenated. Now there will not be an addition, it will be eventually concatenated, and you can see the output here, 32. Okay, so if we move towards the next example, what will happen? It will also be coerced to 1. It will look like 1 plus minus 1, and then plus in string it's 2. What's the time of video? 19. Okay, so it will be eventually 2, and what it will look like, if there will be an operation performing on this, what it will be eventually, it will be 0 plus 2, and how it will look eventually, 0 and 2. It will be concatenated at the end, so it's 0 2. Okay, so now move toward our next question, this one. So this is the same thing as we discussed previous. We have plus here right before 1 in the string. So what will happen? First of all, this 1 will be coerced to integer 1, and then it will be added with the 1 which is in string, and finally this portion, only this portion will output as a 11 in the string, cause this integer 1 will be like concatenated with the string 1. Okay, so now this will output as a 11 in string, and eventually this will be added with the 2 in the string, and finally it will output as a 112. So let's check the output. So here you can see it is 112 in this string form. Now this question has a little trick inside, the next one. So now what you think the output will be? The rule is same, everything is same, principles are same. Let's start from left side. Okay, what will happen? First of all, as we have minus here, so instead of coercion, this minus operator will try to implement minus and subtraction arithmetic operation on these two values. This minus sign will try to do subtraction from A and then B. So what will happen, as these are not the integer inside string, so this is not kind of this thing, this is actually B inside the string. So this is a character, there is a character inside the string, there is not a number like 4 or 5 inside the string. So what will happen, as there is a B inside, so whenever this minus will try to subtract B from A, this will return us an error. So here you can see what the error will be. What you think the error will be? Actually, there is a subtraction between two values, so the interpreter will say, hey, you are not doing this right thing. Interpreter will say, hey, you are not doing the right thing, you are not subtracting two integer values. So it will throw not a number, like you are not subtracting numbers, but you are doing subtraction on strings. So it will return nan, and now after that nan will be added with the 2 in the string. So as already there is an error thrown as a nan, and when you try to add nan with the 2, what it will do? Actually now here is the addition sign, here is the plus sign. So here concatenation will happen, like this 2 will be concatenated with this nan, as we already mentioned. Okay, so what the final output will be, it will be nan2. Here you can see it is nan2. As we already mentioned, whenever there will be addition or plus sign, what will happen, this 2 inside the string will be concatenated with the other value, or you can say the other value will be coerced to string first and then concatenated to the right value. Okay, so now let's move toward the next one. So what you think now the output will be, this portion is same as above, so ditto same, like what the output will be, here nan will be generated, and whenever nan will try to add with the will try to be added with the 2, what will happen? Now just pause and think what will happen. Now we are trying to add a number with not a number with an already an error thrown stuff. So interpreter will say, like, you are trying to add another number with a not a number error, so it will again throw not a number error, because we are not adding two numbers here, we are trying to add a error with the integer, so it will again throw not a number error. So here you can see it's not a number error. Now let's move toward the last portion of examples. I quickly review them. Now let's discuss the short circuit. Okay, as you all know how this OR operator works and how this AND operator works, like this OR operator try to find at least or minimum true or 1 as a value in all of the comparisons, and this AND operator try to find all of the value at maximum as a 1 are true. So in simple words, what we can say, like whenever this OR operator will find 1 or true, it will return from there. Okay, so let's start. First of all, let me tell, but you tell me what the output of this statement will be. So let me comment down others as well. So it will be 1. Here you can see, if we do OR on this thing, it will return us 1. And let me make a little complex it. So now what you think the output will be? It will be 0, 1 or 2. Now the output will be 1 again. It will not be 2. Cause what this OR operator do, it will try to find at least 1. Like it will, in simple words, it will start from left. It will say, oh okay, I find 0, let's move ahead. Okay, now I found 1. Let's return from this and not explore the other ones, because this OR operator only tries to find at least 1, and that's why it is returning 1 as a output here. Now let's console next statement. What you think this output will be? So as I already mentioned, like it will return from the start, because it will try to find at least 1. So it will find the 1 right at the start, so it will return from here. Now the output will be again 1. Now tell me what the output here will be. So okay, let's make previous example a little again trickier. Now what you think the here output will be? It will be true, cause it will find at least 1 are true, as I already mentioned, not only 1 but at least 1 are true. Like at least, let me be more specific, like at least true or a non-zero value, at least true or first non-zero value. Let me write it down for you. At least true or first non-zero value. We can write at least first true or first non-zero value. This will be more specific. So now let's move toward the next example, which is this one. Okay, what this AND operation does, let me write first for you. It will try to find at least first false or first zero value. At least false or at least first false or first zero value. So what you think the output of this thing will be? It will be 0, because it will start from left and try to find 0 or first false value. So it has found 0 right at the start, so it will return from here. Now let's take this example. Now what you think the output will be? The output here will be 5, because what is it is doing here, it will start from left and it will say, oh, I found 1 and it is not 0, neither false, so let's move ahead. I found 2, so it's also not 0 and neither false, so it will try to go far as possible as it will reach to the end, and if it will not found any first false or first zero value, then it will return the most right value. As here you can see it is 5, so it is returning 5 here. So this is how AND operator works. So just keep in mind the two thumb rules. It will start from left and will try to find first false or first zero value. So that's plenty of the things that we have covered in the video. If you didn't get any of the thing, please comment down. And this is the one and only series on YouTube that you will find to cover tricky interviews of JS, and after watching this you will be just blasted. Okay, so that is it for this video. Just comment down and share, and if you liked it, and if you really did, please subscribe as well, and see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.